Good afternoon. This is all running just slow as molasses. So, yeah, I know. I know how it works from here. All right. Happy Saturday. I hope you're having a good, sober day. You know, yeah. We're all doing what we can to make the world better, right? Is that what we're doing? Yeah. There's a lot of people out there with things to say, and they never really get a chance to. And there's some things that I hear in the program that are just gold, man. And I know it can be hard to speak up because, like, number one is anybody really listening to? What am I talking about? Is it legit? um, you know, and that's partly why I do the podcasting, because it gives people a chance to speak that don't really usually have a chance to do so. So let's do some introductions. Welcome to Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. Okay. My grandma named me. She named me after Dion Bonaducci from Dion the Belmonts. He put out a new jazz album a couple years ago. If you're here, please say hello, whether watching the live or the rewatch. Live or the rewatch. Today we're talking about Today I'm Free, and it is from the reflections today. Notice that they're talking, I notice these things, because when it comes to the daily reflection, okay, what the month does, it covers that particular step and or tradition. But when it comes to 6 and 7, it doesn't know what to do. There's not enough to cover, so they use freedom. Okay? But let's look up the principle behind step 6. I don't remember willingness. Okay? So this month, really what we should be focused on is willingness. Okay? And that's what they're covering. Willingness can lead to freedom. Such an easy leeway for me there. Okay? All of this: honesty, hope, faith, courage, integrity, willingness, humility, brotherly love, justice, perseverance, spiritual awareness, service, it all leads to freedom. Everything that you're doing, every time you are making yourself better, you are making progress, or you're making the world a better place, you are earning more freedom. And one day, you're going to be free. It's going to be confusing. It was for me. It's kind of what I'm going through right now. It's kind of when I've been freed of a lot of shit, man. Okay. Yeah. You know what? You want to know what 80% of that was? My meds. My meds were making me act a different way. It wasn't totally me. And it was driving me crazy. And it's nice because now I'm starting to access some of the stuff that I couldn't before. Some of my talents, some of my artistry stuff. I'm laughing a lot more. And I'm just laughing because I'm happy. Been a while. I'm excited to get off the last 20 milligrams. Maybe I'll do that today. I think I'm going to give it 2-3 more days for my body to even out on the 20s, and then I'll let it go. So it was doctor assisted. I didn't do all the. I was on 120 milligrams of duloxetine. Don't do that. Be very, very careful. I should have done my due diligence and I didn't. Anyway, let's get to this. So we're going to be in As Bill Sees It, page 114. Okay. As Bill Sees It are just some of the selected writings of a co-founder, so which I think is pretty cool. I never looked to see how many pages it was. Is it 332? Wow, I never saw this before. Okay, wow. Okay, that's not the topic though. So 114, but it's gonna be not today, but it's gonna be. At first, the remedy for my personal difficulties seemed so obvious that I could not imagine any alcoholic turning the proposition down where it properly presented to him. Believing so firmly that Christ can do anything, I had the unconscious conceit to suppose that he would do everything through me. For me, I'm just another human being doing human being stuff. No, I don't consider myself better or less. I am different. Okay, but that doesn't make a qualification for better or less than. Not only that, but then I'm determining worth, and I never do a good job at that. Well, that's not true. When I tell other people that they're worthy because they're doing what they're doing it. So, yeah, I guess I do, but I think that has more to do with encouragement than really worth, because there is none. Does that make sense? To me, that makes sense. Nobody's worth anything. Everybody's worth everything. There is. You were here before money. You were here before money. There's no amount of money in this world that. No. See? Now, see, I don't get to determine people's willingness, which is kind of what they're doing here. And just because you presented it does not mean they're going to take it. Okay? Right then, and in the manner I chose, after 6 long months, I had to admit that not a soul had surely laid a hold of the master, not excepting myself. Okay. So what they're talking about is, what he's covering is when he got sober for the final time and he figured out that giving it away was the key. He had talked to plenty of alcoholics, but not one of them got sober. So he felt like he was failing. But we alcoholics, being the way that we are, have the cart before the horse. This wasn't about the other people. He was 100% successful. 100% successful. Why? Because he stayed sober himself. We were just talking with a newcomer after the meeting, and I was explaining to them that they didn't fail because they slipped. That is not a failure. It's okay. Here's the thing. They came back. They said, "Hey, it just something happened. I went out, and I'm back." And I explained to them that's progress. That's progress. Before, you wouldn't have done that. You would have just went on your merry way, continued drinking. But instead, you came back. And in our book, that's progress. So you're exactly where you need to be right now. Isn't that cool? See? It's okay. I know there's a bunch of problems. I know. They're going to be solved if you take care of your spiritual remedy. If you work on your spiritual malady. Got it. This brought me to a good, healthy realization that there were plenty of situations left in the world over which I had no personal power. I had no power over people. I don't want power. Let me rephrase that. I do not want power over other people. Some people give me power. I want it. Some people give me control over their emotions. I don't want it. I don't want to be the center of your emotions. No, fuck that. That is very uncomfortable. When I was drinking, I would have relished in that. I would say things, I want you to fear how much you love me. I stole that from The Office. Okay, it's a joke, but I meant it. That if I was so ready to admit that to be the case with alcohol, so I must make the same admission with respect to much else. I would have to be still and know that he, not I, was God. Okay. This same person, it's funny, okay, had brought up that they were still playing God and that they didn't know that they didn't see it until now. Okay. So was that slip bad? No. It was actually a good thing. Okay. I think this person is now entirely ready. That's the feeling I get. Are feelings facts? No. But my intuition is usually right. Okay. So this is what I do with my intuition. If it's kind of a bad thing, I just stay the fuck away from it. If it's a good thing, I do what I can to help it. That's what I do. And it doesn't matter who the person is. And I do my best. I strike out every now and again. You know, sometimes I'll let my personal feelings interfere. I'll admit that. I don't problem. I'll correct it. Right? Yeah. Now, it took me a long time, but I had to go through a whole series of things in my life and start to accept them and bring them in. And I'm going to check to see if anybody is commenting or anything, because I am not getting anything over here. Okay. No, it doesn't look like it. So, all right. Like acceptance. Like accepting the fact that I did have PTSD. Now, that's a big one coming up right now. And it's because I've been talking to somebody and she's been talking about her PTSD. And, I really like what they're saying. So I'm like, come on the show. And I can feel a little hesitancy, which I get. Okay. She's a girl. Some guy's just reaching out saying, I love your stuff. You got to be fucking careful. All right. That's the stuff that I do. I told her, I'm like, if you need to get to know me first, that's fine with me. You don't know me, and there's a lot of predators out there. She said, I appreciate that. You bet. Okay? It's not for me I don't like pushing things. Things happen in God's time. When they happen in God's time, it's so much better. I'm learning to practice acceptance in all circumstances in my life so that I may enjoy peace of mind. You couldn't have said it any simpler, right? It's going to take some work. It's taken me 8 years of hard work to get where I'm at. I got a feeling the work ain't over, right? In fact, I know it's not over. It's still there. At one time, life was a constant battle because I felt I had to go through each day fighting myself and everyone else. Eventually, this became a losing battle. I ended up getting drunk and crying over my misery. When I began to let go and let God take over my life, I began to have peace of mind. Today, I'm free. I do not have to fight anybody or anything anymore. All right. And that's where my freedom comes from, is from not fighting things. Not fighting things. Which is really hard to do. So, all right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I hope you have a great day. I love you. Peace out.